Hello, everybody, and welcome to another action-packed edition of the OverMark Podcast. You guys are pretty lucky today. We got one hell of a show for you. I'm your host, TJ. We got my buddy Dave here. He's also your host. We're co-host, and we're going to be talking about Dynamite today, and we got some news for you. Check out our social medias, like always, at OverMark ENT, and we won't bore you with that anymore. We'll move on to the review itself. So let me pull this up real quick. I'm slacking. I should have had it already.
The OverMark Entertainment Dynamite review.
Yeah, we had it. It costs a lot of money, but we have that recording. But
there's no
none. But we got this opening segment here. It's Hangman's State of the Cowboy address. So cue HBO Max cutting to black like it's part of the storyline. Oh, yeah.
We skipped over the attendance and all that stuff.
Did we? Wow. Thanks for that catch. It's
it's important because these are such astronomical numbers. We want to make sure we don't gloss over this.
Yeah, it was July 16th, 2025, and their attendance was 1,114, and that was tickets distributed as well.
44.
1144. But it was a sellout, which means that it was pretty impressive. It's a pretty large number. I think, what was it like? If you go by Tony Khan's measurement, that's like 1/30th of what they had Saturday.
Yeah.
So
I'll throw them a bone here. The place looked cool on TV, and
they had the acoustics figured out on miking up the crowd too.
Sounded great.
Because sometimes it looked like they weren't that into it, and there was still a lot of noise being made by a small amount of fans. But yeah, it did look cool. I like these small venues, so I can't shit on that. But it was with the Byline Bank Aragon Ballroom, Chicago, Illinois. This was the first week of their residency there. We had an opening segment. Go over it again. Hangman Page's Dirty Doo-Doo Diaper address. And he cued HBO Max cutting to black like it was part of the Doo-Doo storyline. Hangman Page walks out as AEW World Champ, but the stream glitches harder than Vince McMahon dodging subpoenas. I don't think he's been successfully dodging anything. But
he's trying.
Yeah, he gives an emotional speech thanking everyone but the catering crew and the guy who fixed the ring ropes. Oh, he thanked Bob. Crowd starts chanting, "Yeah, we deserve it," because nothing says humility like patting yourself on the back. Thanks everyone from Bryan Danielson to Will Ospreay to Swerve. That's right. He thanked the man who literally tried to kill him in his own home. I kind of, I don't know the right word, but fix that a little bit. It's I feel like he was hesitant on thanking Swerve, but he did. Says, "I'm the world champ now," with more tears than Tony Khan's at a ratings drop. Yeah, this speaking of ratings drop, man, the ratings started, what was it? Was it like 720 or some shit? And it either way, they dropped 150K from the beginning of his segment to the end of it. Like, it seems like anytime he starts the show, which he's not the only guy that does this, but he's the guy with like the biggest fucking drops at the beginning, like 150K. If you put Kenny Omega in that segment, it would not have dropped like that. I can promise you. If you put MJF in the Hurt Syndicate and with somebody interesting, it wouldn't have dropped. Like, I think Tony already knew this though, but he's going. This is a passion project for him. This is a hobby, so he's going to do it how he wants to do. And it's not to say that we haven't been enjoying some of the stuff that Hangman's been doing. He's been doing his best work in the past month, but it's safe to say that it's back to business as usual. What do you think, Dave?
It was an okay segment. I don't know. I like his chase was probably going to be better than his championship. He did do a good promo last week. This one was okay. I don't know. I'm not into the overly emotional cowboy stuff, Come on.
I was thinking about that earlier today. Sorry, go ahead.
No, and to your point about the ratings thing, I was trying to scroll through our message history and find that, and while you were talking, my nephew walked right on in. Apparently, I hadn't locked the door, and I muted my mic real quick, and I was like, "Yo, you got to get on out of here, buddy, right now. Come on."
You imagine
But yeah, I
Stone
found the
Cold,
picture.
The Rock, The Undertaker, after their first championship win, saying that I cried some over the weekend. People don't want to see somebody that, I mean, this is my opinion. They don't want to see kind of like, not necessarily a bitch, but like somebody that's emotional. They want to see a tough motherfucker who can fight through adversity and at the other end laugh at it and talk shit on it. That's what people want to see. They want to see shit talk and kind of like a Conor McGregor type thing, you know, like not necessarily as bad as him, but you know, it's just Stone Cold's a perfect example. You know, I feel like that's what a lot of these guys are striving to be. He's their hero. They grew up watching him, and they, like John Moxley, that's who he wants to be, right? So none of them are really doing that, you know? Stone Cold, he would complain a little bit when people were fucking with him, but he'd be like, and he's like, I am the last son of a bitch that, you know, that you want to mess with. That's how he complained. You know, it's like, that's what you want to do. You need to go out there triumphant and, you know, show them that you're the man, and that isn't what happened. But dogs are going to go off. You take the lead.
Where are we at here? We're at Kyle Fletcher?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
And we got Kyle Fletcher versus what?
Just a heatless banger here. Go ahead.
Oh boy, Kyle Fletcher versus Mascara Dorada. Mascara. I assume it's mascara, and I'm saying it like an idiot. But Kyle, why am I still in the Don Callis family? Fletcher beats Dorada in a fun match nobody will remember next week. Commentary acts like we're seeing Okada versus Omega, but we're really watching two guys trying to get noticed by Collision's booking committee. Good match. Shame it happened between HBO Max commercial breaks for dog food and investment apps. And yeah, I mean, broken record, I know. Every week we say, you know, their in-ring stuff is good. No reason to care about this match. No offense to anybody that was in it. You know, what wasn't the worst thing I've ever seen. I don't know. What did you think of this, TJ?
Kyle Fletcher's one of the highlights of your show, and he's definitely somebody that you could be building right now in a serious feud for the TNT Championship. And I know they're having him go after Dustin, and hopefully that will be a good program. But we'll see. But Mascara Dorada is not it.
Nope.
What else also isn't it? Which I didn't hate this, by the way. It was kind of funny, but backstage, Young Bucks, they arrive in an Uber. They lost their EVP privileges, and now they're ride-sharing to work. Welcome to Mid-Carters, Inc. Don Callis offers them help like a used car salesman offering a deal on a 2004 Camry. Yeah, he swooped in on them quick. Because it's funny, it's like now he has more people that like him backstage, and he has more backstage influence than they do. So he actually kind of like, you know, just like I said, scoop them on up. But the segment ends with the Bucks hugging the devil because, hey, that's never gone wrong for anyone in wrestling. I like Don Callis. He's not bad. But like I said, funny little segment. I'll take us into the next one here. It's an 8-man tag mayhem. Bandito, Brody, Jet Speed, and the Bucks, Hitchachero, and Josh Alexander. Match of the night if you enjoy utter chaos with 0 tags and 97 finishers. The Young Bucks can't even call their own moves anymore. EVP trigger is now just that knee thing we used to do when we mattered. Hitchachero puts Bandito to sleep like AEW's quarterly investor calls. Young Bucks actually win something again, you know, which is adorable, I guess. But you know, they're riding high. What do you think? Were you riding high after watching it?
You know, I wasn't actually, because they managed to lose almost another 50K viewers between the Kyle Fletcher match and then this match. I don't know. It seems like every time that they're on TV, they, you know, between the Young Bucks and this backstage stuff in this match.
Well, it stayed, at least they kind of stayed at like 550K or 555K at that point. But their demo dipped a little bit, the 18 to 24 to 201K, which was tied for the second. Actually, no, it wasn't tied, but it was almost the lowest point of the night. But the demo didn't fluctuate too much. It jumped up for the next thing, though, the Cope, Stokely, Hathaway stuff. You want to talk about that?
Well, hell yeah, it is. Well, we got a I can't talk. I don't know why. Promo. Can't say that word for some reason. Try saying that word 3 times fast. Promo from Adam Copeland.
No longer Cope.
Right? He says that he didn't save Christian Cage because he's an asshole. The crowd agrees. He cuts a fiery promo on FTR while referencing his time off like it's a vacation he didn't want. Stokely interrupts, looking like an angry librarian at Comic-Con. Cope, I can't talk. I don't know what the fuck my problem is. Cope legally can't touch FTR or he'll be fired, so instead he obliterates Stokely, Stokely's security team, and then spears him into next week. Spike, the 2x4, may be more over than half of the roster. This is a good promo. He knows what he's doing. It was cool to see him back. We haven't seen him other than that little bit of saving Christian at the pay-per-view. I'm looking forward to what they're going to do here. I assume we're going to get Edge and Christian versus FTR, which will be awesome. One of the greatest tag teams of all time versus one of the best tag teams in modern wrestling. Sign me up for that.
Yeah.
What do you think of this?
That should be cool. That's obviously where they're going, and it'll be cool seeing Edge and Christian together. And Edge can cut a pretty good promo. He's great. He's in really good shape. It's everybody in the back could probably learn a couple 100 things from him. But and they'll have to take on the matriarchy too. Yeah. Wow.
So, there are a couple of built-in feuds for them. That one's a little less exciting than the FTR. Yeah. They'll probably do that one first, to be honest with you, because the FTR one just is one for you to build to.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, after that we had the women's 100K 4-way, Willow versus Statlander, Thekla versus Amanada. 100K in the line. That's like AEW's yearly budget for the women's storylines. Chaos erupts, people fly, and somehow Chris Statlander becomes a heel by pulling out the ref. Julia Hart sprays mist in Amanada's face because witchcraft is the best booking. Thekla wins the match and the money, which she'll presumably use to buy character development. Wow. Yeah, I don't know. You see that thing with Queen Amanada being like, if she won, she'd donate the money to charity.
It's not even real money.
Yeah. Well, it is to her, man. It's like, what is it, Shroot Bucks? 100K Shroot Bucks. I don't know if you've ever seen that on The Office. It's his shitty little currency he makes when he's the manager.
I haven't really watched that. I know that's going to disappoint you, but it's just not really for me.
I thought the same thing. I saw a lot of people watching it, and if it's like a lot of it's like a lot of shows where I think like the first season doesn't have that big of a budget, so you watch it and it's funny, but it doesn't blow you away. But like once you get to the midway of the second season, it starts to click for you why it's such a funny show. But yeah, you can take us on if you want. It's a timeless Toni Storm goes full Oscar bait.
She cuts a promo using more old-timey phrases than a 1920s telegram. Says Mercedes Moné was delicious. And you guys know what we're talking about. I assume you watched the pay-per-view if you're listening to this, right? Which somehow is both flirty and threatening. Athena interrupts and reminds us she's forever champion, which is ironic given she hasn't been on Dynamite since Roosevelt was in office. I don't know about that. That's not very... We'll try better with that joke next time, folks. I don't know. Sorry about that one. Match teased but not announced because AEW loves their foreplay. And I enjoyed Toni's promos. She always does a good job. They had her up there in a balcony.
It was pretty cool.
On the second floor. Yeah. Kind of like that one venue that they did a while back. I think it was in New Jersey or whatever that you and I liked. And
that was on the beach.
Yeah, that one was cool.
Yeah, that was badass. But yeah, it was cool. And they're going towards the Athena route, which was obvious because she had the briefcase. We'll see where she goes in between that. She's wrestling, what's her face? Billy, or I don't know. whatever the fuck her name is, Athena's little minion character or whatever that hangs around with her. But Athena's not too bad, I guess, and Toni's awesome, so it should be better than some of the shit that we see with women on the show.
Yeah. Before we move on to the next thing, I have a question for you that I just thought of. Does AEW have a problem in that how big their last pay-per-view was versus where they're at normally? You know, because I mean, all of that stuff looked great on TV, and the arena looked. I think we talked about this a little bit before, but I just, you know, they did a good job with this smaller venue, but I just, you know, the big place made it feel like a big deal. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, this isn't the first time that's happened. You know, all their all-ins have been really huge, and then the next night it's back to, you know, under 5K for the first one, and the second one it was like back down to 3K the next Wednesday after all-in. But, you know, their pay-per-views always kind of do okay for them. I feel like that's their strength because people really like the matches. But, you know, they had a good mix of storyline and match this time. They said it was like their fourth best pay-per-view sales ever, you know, which is not a real source, it's all Meltzer. But, yeah, I mean, it won't hurt them in the sense that the people that watch the show and stick up for them online, the diehards, will be happy with anything they do, and they'll find positives in every measure. So I guess the people that are still hanging around, they won't run off. But, I mean, we've been thinking that for years now, and somehow it just keeps shrinking. But, yeah, they're not growing, and it's pretty obvious. You know, they wouldn't be running a place, even if it's unique and cool looking, with 1,000 people in it. So,
do you think if they had one show instead of two, that they could probably maybe start to run slightly larger venues?
The product just isn't hot. You know, it is what it is, and regardless if people want to tell you, one good storyline for a month, you got to remember the whole rest of the fucking Swerve, or not Swerve, but Hangman build up to this. It wasn't great. The Swerve part, that's why that popped up, was the best part of it. But, you know, realistically, it was kind of a mess, and a lot of this is really because you just wanted to see the Death Riders fucking out of there, and then tonight it's like, bam, right back into it. But we'll talk about that later. But yeah, to answer your question in short, there's no growth, and it's super fucking obvious, you know.
Unfortunate.
And nobody's saying they're going to go out of business by any means. That was never the case.
No. I mean, we want them to do well. We're not shitting on them here. You know, I think about how the matches looked on TV, how the entrances looked on TV, how everything looked. You know, they did a great job.
Yep. I'm with you.
I just want that for them more frequently. Yeah.
But yeah, so I'll take us on. And the Kazuchika Okada squash match. New music, new belt, same Rainmaker. Rafael Quintero gets about as much offense as a local jobber at a 1994 Superstars taping. Post-match, Okada calls out Swerve, who just walks out and shrugs, the most violent whatever bro in wrestling history. Now, he was just basically saying, oh, you screwed the Bucks over, my friends. And he walks out and says, yeah, I did. What are you going to do about it? Crowd's really into Swerve.
Okada called him bitch like he does, and then Swerve was like, well, what are you going to do about it, bitch?
Swerve's probably the most over guy on the show right now. I feel like.
I think he is.
It's him or MJF. MJF's still just getting these awesome fucking reactions no matter what he does, and he's still getting cheered a lot of the places he goes to. But Swerve, he's serious. There's no comedy there. Yeah. It's like exactly what you want in a fucking serious wrestler. No goofing off.
Nana gets to do all the goofy shit, so Swerve doesn't have to. It's a perfect pairing. He's a great hype guy for him, you know. Every time that he comes out, there's a whole bunch of people in the crowd miming his dance and everything. It's good shit.
Well, you know, I've been to 3 AEW shows, and the second and third show, it was around the time where he was about to get the title or had it. And before the show, man, the crowd's chanting, whose house, Swerve house, the whole time for like 30 minutes before the show starts. And they're, I don't know if they're doing it now, but he's definitely pretty popular, and he's the man, you know. He's they better bring out the fucking checkbook when it comes around next time for him. because if not,
Oh yeah,
they may not be able to keep him. The draw, that WrestleMania draw, it's not even WWE. It's that
I'd like to
WrestleMania
see
draw.
him and Edge before either one of them leaves. Ledge, yeah.
Do you see that shirt? Legendary.
Yeah, the legendary. That's what's spelled with Edge.
What?
People online are like, it's spelled wrong, and it's like, nah, he put
So
Edge
you
in
don't
there,
get it?
you goof.
Yeah. Well, I think something else that's kind of legendary is this match here. If you want to bring that up.
Oh boy, it's a thing here, and I'm almost there. I'm doing
Hangman,
something else
Briscoe,
real quick.
Hobbs, and Death
Yeah.
Riders. We're in the main event.
That's true. Yep. Here we are. We got there fast. Claudio is now officially the guy who takes the pin for his faction. He's basically the D'Lo Brown from the Nation of Domination. Poor D'Lo. He was good too. Yuta gets tossed around like a ring boy at a 1980s WWF show. Oh no! Hell. Those are some spicy notes. Hobbs looks great for 60 seconds at a time. Classic AEW booking. Page pins Claudio with a jackknife roll up because nothing says world champ like a flash pin. Post-match beatdown interrupted by Darby Allin spawning into nosebleeds like a DLC character. Hangman hits a buckshot on Mox and then stands tall with his team to close the show. Cue the emotional swell of B-movie hero music. It wasn't a bad ending. Even if you don't like these people that are involved in the match, which I don't hate any of these guys. I don't necessarily have a huge affection for Hangman. This is a good way to end the show. You want your world champ standing tall, especially one episode after your pay-per-view. Nothing about how this was booked terribly offended me. The match was, was decent. What did you think?
No, the Death Riders should have gone away a little bit, and neither of these guys should have been competing after such a brutal match.
That's right.
Yeah, it's 4 days later. Like, they beat the shit out of each other, weapons, stabbing each other. So that doesn't make any sense. And Hobbs was in that trios match, and that was pretty brutal too. Where was Mark Briscoe at in the pay-per-view? I forget. But
Wasn't he in the trios match?
I don't think he has the belt with him, does he? It's like Shibata.
No, no. I don't know what the fuck he did. Something. I know he was on it.
Yeah, but anyways, no, he was in the men's casino. It was him and MJF that started it off.
That's right.
So he's okay. He gets a pass to go here. But the Death Riders shouldn't be going, especially Moxley. And everybody's tired of seeing these guys, so it would have been nice to see them kind of just move on and take a little bit of a break. How can Tate and Christian miss you if you're not gone?
That's true.
And
well, we talked about that last night. I had forgot. We both said during this match that we were like, why are these guys in the match? Like,
well, especially against Hangman. You got your world
they should have been
champion.
gone for like a month, and they had him acting all like emo and mopey and shit before the match started, Moxley, and it's like the whole faction should have just been gone for at least a couple of weeks to a month.
Yeah, now you're overexposing them. They need to, if they're gonna have anything, they need to go away, regroup, maybe come back with a new member, new plan. There's ways to do this shit. And then 4 days later isn't fucking it. And
everybody already hated them, and now you're just chain devaluing them.
Even I saw a lot of people that are usually sticking up. We're not sticking up for that one. And you don't want Hangman anywhere near them right now. He just beat him. Time to move on. You want your world champion and the cool, biggest, newest, best program that you had for him, because you plan this thing like a month or a year in advance. So there should be plenty of ideas, plans, and things to move him right onto that don't involve these shit that nobody wants to see.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
I think that might wrap up our
The OverMark Entertainment Dynamite review.
and that's going to take us right into a little bit of
And I got news
OverMark
for you.
Entertainment exclusive.
Oh man. Well, you take us into this one, Dave. It's
oh boy.
Go ahead. I'm gonna mute for a sec.
Well, All right, it's true. Kurt Angle goes to RAF. Hulk Hogan and Eric Bischoff's new combat sports baby, Real American Freestyle, has officially recruited Olympic gold medalist, WWE Hall of Famer Kurt Angle to their commentary team. Commentary dream or fever dream. Angle joins a booth along MMA mouthpiece Chael Sonnen and Bubba, yes, that Bubba, Jenkins. A trio sounds like it was pulled from a Twitter argument in 2011. We got a little bit of the debut show details. We'll throw them a little bit of free promotion, get our rub. We got the RAF 01, August 30th, 2025, the Woolstein Center in Cleveland, Ohio. Tickets are on sale right now via Ticketmaster because nothing says legit shoot wrestling like the same website that sells Taylor Swift tickets. And obviously we got Mr. Decorated Kurt Angle, his resume, NCAA champion, Olympic gold medalist with a broken freaking neck, in case you forgot. And obviously his wrestling accolades, Grand Slam WWE winner, TNA champion, IWGP champion, triple Hall of Fame inductee, and now the guy yelling into the headset next to Chael. We're one impact run away from Angle completing the entire wrestling Infinity Gauntlet. We got a quote from the commissioner here, Mr. Hulk Hogan. He says, Kurt will provide fire, infamy, and unparalleled experience. Translation, please watch our new promotion. We promise this isn't Celebrity Pickleball Wrestling Edition. And then Kurt has a quote here. I couldn't be prouder to support athletes at all levels. Angle's back in the freestyle trenches, this time wearing a headset instead of headgear. Why this matters is it gives RAF a major credibility boost, can't talk, and a nostalgic injection for lapsed wrestling fans. It also is a smart pairing with Sonnen and Jenkins, blending pro wrestling spectacle with combat sports legitimacy. You got Hogan, Bischoff, Izzy Martinez, and Chad Bronstein. These are the other guys behind it. This sounds entirely like either a wrestling promotion or a new coaching staff for Deion Sanders. What we're supposed to expect here is unscripted freestyle wrestling for flashy presentation, legit grappling meets sports entertainment flair, and probably Chael Sonnen promos longer than the main event. You guys can go follow their socials. I'm not going to plug that stuff. It's on here. It's whatever. That's a lot. We gave these guys a lot of our news talk this time. But that's cool for Angle. It's good to see him getting a paycheck. And if anybody knows stuff about freestyle wrestling, it's definitely him. So he'll be able to probably provide insight unlike most people would be able to provide. So that's cool. What do you think, TJ? You got any kind of insight here or cool opinions or uncool opinions?
The money pit, probably about it.
Right, get that money, Kurt.
Well, I'm not saying that. I mean, that's cool for Kurt, I guess, but this whole thing's a money pit. This thing is guaranteed fucking not going anywhere. What can you say? At least all these guys are trying to do something that they want to try to do. But yeah, the Hulkster's like attaching him to anything these days is just like fucking. You just don't want it to work.
He's going to come out wearing a Burger King crown.
Eric Bischoff's at least a pretty smart guy. It could work out for him on that end. But we'll move us on from that. And we got another.
An OverMark Entertainment exclusive.
So we've been putting multiple videos out on this recently. From announcing it to Seth talking about it to now people are saying that maybe his injury might be a work. So Brian Alvarez was reporting that Seth Rollins' apparent knee injury at Saturday night's main event was part of a storyline. Multiple sources confirmed the injury angle was pre-planned, although some within WWE, including wrestlers in production, initially believed it was real. Meltzer and Pollock confirm that Meltzer, they both backed the story. And I was like, who the fuck is Pollock? And Pollock was told ahead of time to expect an injury-related angle at the show involving Rollins. Who the fuck is Pollock?
I have no idea.
Yeah, like, fuck Pollock. How about that? and then we got a major.
Fuck you, John Pollock.
Yeah.
Oh wait, I think we're not supposed to. We cut these into the smaller videos. I think we're not supposed to swear like in the first so many minutes of the video or something.
It's all good. It'll work
I
out.
don't know.
We
Fuck
got
it.
a minor real injury. One source noted that Rollins did have a minor knee injury going into the match, but nothing serious enough to keep him off TV. I mean, these people are either guessing. It's 50-50. It either is or it isn't. And that happens all the time. And when it's on a 50-50, you're probably going to be right 50% of the time. But anyways, Rollins tweaked his knee during the match versus LA Knight. He was seen communicating with the ref, Paul Heyman, and medical staff before being pinned. This fueled speculation that it was setting up a Money in the Bank cash-in targeting Gunther or Goldberg. Angle set up for a surprise return. The storyline appeared crafted to fool fans into thinking Rollins is legitimately out, paving the way for a surprise cash-in return down the line. Rollins stays in character on the Rich Eisen show. Wait, who's that? I saw the thing, but I've never seen him. But I know, but I've never seen him before that. The show.
He's I think he's on like ESPN or something.
Oh, okay.
I've seen him before. I can't.
Well,
Can't tell you what network.
Rollins claimed that swelling was preventing a clear diagnosis and said that he may be out for a while. He added that he hopes to be elevated in LA within the next couple of weeks. Evaluated. No, he wants to be elevated too.
Yeah.
Leaning further into the work. The thing that kind of makes me think that this is like a work is LA Knight's facial reactions afterwards. They were like too good.
Yeah, he's either a really good actor or, it's real. We'll find out, but we wanted to talk about it since it was being reported.
Maybe
see what the deal is.
It's going to be CM Punk versus Gunther at SummerSlam, right?
Yep, that'd be a perfect time for him to cash in. Punk actually manages to win somehow. They come out and screw him over. That story tells itself.
Yep. Well, I think that'll take us into our next.
An OverMark Entertainment exclusive.
You want to talk to us about Buff Bagwell's life-changing surgery, Dave?
Well, not really. This is kind of a bummer. This is one of those things that it literally just happened.
Yeah.
So the summary here is former WCW star Marcus Buff Bagwell has undergone a planned above-the-knee leg amputation today, Friday, July 18th. So this just happened within hours of us talking about this. It was early this morning, I do believe, marking the end of a painful 5-year battle following a devastating car crash in 2020. The crash had severely damaged his right knee, leading to nearly 40 surgeries, chronic pain, addiction, and eventually a powerful road to sobriety. And he's maintaining that, so good on him. And he had an emotional reveal just 12 hours before the surgery. He released a heartfelt video on his YouTube channel alongside his fiancée, Stacy. In it, he candidly reflects on his journey through pain, depression, and addiction. The turning point after years of failed surgeries and a mere 20% chance to save the leg, Bagwell made the decision to amputate. He credits Diamond Dallas Page for helping him get sober and says the experience brought him peace, not sadness. Another thing that I didn't put in the notes here was he talked about seeing guys that were amputees out there being able to full on run and not just run like somebody with a prosthetic leg barely hobbling by, but full on sprint running. And he was never going to be able to do that with his leg. He couldn't bend his knee anymore at all, period. And there were other things going on. I don't know. You watch the video. He'll explain it. I don't remember every single thing. And he proudly announced that he'll be 3 years sober as of August 27th, 2025 this year. And he said, what cost me my leg got me sobriety. I fixed it by fixing my life. He's looking ahead. He had views the prosthetic as a second chance. I'll be in the best shape I've been in 20 years. I'll be able to go to restaurants, church, and live life again. He's walking around in the cane. I watched a video of him with Maven, and we'll actually talk about that here. Maven's role. Everybody knows Maven. Everybody loves Maven. Maybe there's a joke in there like everybody loves Raven, but Maven. Anyway, that's stupid. Shut up, Dave. In a remarkable show of friendship, Maven Huffman traveled over 800 miles driving nonstop, essentially, other than to get gas and relieve himself, to be by Buff's side. He filmed the before and after footage of the procedure. Nearly got kicked out of the hospital because you can't be doing that in the hospital because of HIPAA violation and things of that nature. And it ended up working out, though. And he, accompanied to the hospital, and he stayed through the post-op recovery. The video is now posted on Maven's YouTube channel and captures the emotional gravity of the moment, and it's absolutely worth watching. And the final quote from Buff was, "I fought the fight. I looked down, and I can say I tried. It's time to go. I really think this is the right call." And he seemed to be, the video with Maven, if you guys go over to his YouTube channel and watch that after you finish listening up here, he was in good spirits. He was jovial. He didn't seem like he, was upset or anything. So, it's good for him. I'm hoping the best for him here. I hope that, they get him a nice, good prosthetic, because I've seen how some of these, I deliver medical equipment. I've seen how good some of these prosthetics are that some of these people have. And, he could get a good one. It's just, they cost a lot of money. But hoping the best for him in his recovery, and cool of Maven to go there and be with him and help him get his video and stuff out there. What did you think of all this, TJ? It's a pretty wild thing to learn today, I think.
Yeah, I don't want to go on it too long, but man, it seems like a lot of these guys who rose to prominence in WCW really went down a dark path. Because the guys in WWE, not to say that some of them didn't take a dark path, kind of still had the company around to help him for a while, but man, it's I know it wasn't his fault for the car crash and everything, but I know he just suffered from addiction, which we'll talk about all the time.
It was actually he was fucked up on. He talks about it in the video. Actually, he was out drinking the night before, and got up, popped a couple of Xanaxes, and was doing something, and then was driving somewhere and drove through a brick building.
Oh, well, that's normal, man. That's everyday drug addict stuff. But I just kind of mean like, it's like he didn't overdose or anything like that.
Right.
He just did
Staying
something.
alive.
Yeah, he just did something from drugs that caused him to have an accident, which happens a lot, unfortunately. Xanax is some pretty dangerous stuff, but no, that's not what we're talking about. But yeah, it sucks he had to lose his leg, and man, I can imagine how it could have been that bad where that had to happen so long after the thing too. But I mean, I'm not a fucking doctor, but it sucks for the guy, and hopefully this helps him. And he seems like a pretty positive guy, and DDP seems to be the only saving grace for a lot of these guys. So they should be appreciating him, and I know I definitely do. He seems like a pretty nice guy, and he helps Scott Hall a lot, and there's a whole bunch of people that he helps. Not wrestling wise, he does a lot for a lot of people.
Much love for DDP, yeah.
Yeah. But
why don't we wrap this on up?
Oh man.
And you could take us home.
All right, so we're going to have the next episode. It's going to have SmackDown and Collision on it. SmackDown's going to be happening here in about like 30-some minutes. So we'll get this finished up and have time to watch it when it comes on. At least I will. I don't know if I'll be able to stay awake through the whole... Actually, I probably will, since it's 2 hours now. That's been nice. But social media call out at OverMark ENT. Like always, we appreciate you guys for listening, liking, subbing. Appreciate you, Dave. We'll be hanging out right after this, and I'm out of here.
Hell yeah, love you, TJ. Like a bro, not like a.
Yeah, same here. I know what you mean.
Maybe like that too. Who knows? No, I'm just kidding, everybody.
Nope.
But good show. Thanks for everything, and we'll see y'all soon.
Take it easy.